Hello everyone, this is Tanya from Tea Talks 93, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We did have another episode on Sunday from Sister Wives. I would like to review and give opinions about Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 12, called Put Your House in Order. So it starts out with Mary at the B&B, and Cody, I swear to God, it feels like he has been crying for a week straight. And I know, like, we left off, he's crying, and he picked up, he's crying, so that's probably why. But I'm so over Cody's crying when he's the one that did all this damage to Mary, and Mary's just sitting there like, what is going on? And then she starts like getting confused and wondering if she made the wrong decision. And Jen is there with her. Thank God Jen is there with her, because she's like, what do you mean made the wrong decision? No, this is the right decision. You have been going through this grieving process from the divorce for over a year. Do not go back. Do not go back. I'm like, thank you, Jen. Don't let her go back into that mess, because Cody is just, no. And she supports Mary by saying, don't do it. This is just part of the process. Cody apparently just has his own emotions about it to go through. And, let's just keep going with moving forward from here. So that was really good. Thank you, Jen. So Jen acknowledges that Cody is the one that failed to follow through with promises. So Jen has been with Mary as friends since the cul-de-sac time. So she's watched what's happened with the family, and she said Cody kept making all these promises and letting not just Mary down, but let all the other wives down besides Robin, and he just kept breaking promises. So in her mind, and everybody that is logical's mind, I think Cody failed the situation. He chose to have 4 wives, and he did not nurture every relationship, every wife, so therefore it failed. And the fact that he keeps blaming everybody but himself is a crock of crap, in my opinion. Jen, so last episode, Cody's like, yeah, so I'm even at a place where when she gets married, I'll walk her down the aisle. And Jen's like, he is not walking her down the aisle. I will walk her down the aisle if anybody does. So that was kind of cute, but thank you, Jen, for protecting Mary. It goes over to Savannah's graduation. So this would have been around May 2023. Janelle and Christine talk about, the past graduation parties that they threw, especially the ones in Las Vegas where there was multiple children that were graduating at the same time. And they had these big parties with a bunch of people over, and they did all those little dances and things for them. And they just had a good time with that. And they're like, well, this is a little different. We don't have everybody here, but it's still fun with the people that are there to support Savannah. And I kind of wonder, like, why Cody, because I talk about, like, Cody isn't there, of course, and nobody wants Cody there because he's pretty much a Debbie Downer, right? So I don't know why Cody didn't, like, take Savannah out for her graduation, or something like a daddy-daughter type of dinner, just something simple to acknowledge that this was a big a big thing in her life. So he's a very selfish person. He could have at least done that with his daughter. So frustrating. And Cody talks about he didn't expect to be invited to that graduation party because it's at Christine's home, and he and Christine have a bad relationship, and then he and Janelle are not much better. So he's like, I wouldn't want to go there, and they wouldn't want Robin there, so I won't go anyway if they're not going to invite Robin. So I think honestly, like, if Savannah really wanted them there, then I think that they would make exceptions and try to accommodate what Savannah wished. But if Cody hasn't seen her for months or years or whatever it is, hasn't reached out, hasn't tried to keep a relationship going with her, I don't blame her for not wanting her dad there either. So Cody, so on that fact that he could have had, like, little dinner, a little get together, something to celebrate separately from this party. He could have done that in Flagstaff. She graduated from Flagstaff, where he lives, And this party is being held in Salt Lake City where Christine lives. So it makes no logical sense why Cody couldn't have done something special for her. That's just really sad and pretty crappy if I think about it. So Christine updates that Truly and David are really having a good relationship, and I guess it kind of indicates that Cody's not reaching out to Truly either, so he's not nurturing that relationship with this child. She's still a child. Savannah, at least, I mean, she's graduated and she's very sad about not having a dad around, but Truly is like, what, at this time, like 12 or 13, and she's like 14 or 15 now. So he's not nurturing their bond, their relationship, and it doesn't seem like he cares about most of his kids. And that's his fault. That's not the mom's fault. That's his fault. Then Janelle, it goes to Janelle talking about wiring the money to, for Coyote Pass to Cody. And Maddie and Caleb and all their kids are there at the party. And it was kind of interesting to see that in one portion of the video, David is like holding one of the babies up. I think it's Maddie's newest baby. And Cody has never even seen that kid. And David's just playing with the baby, and the baby loves him. And I guess Maddie talks about how her kids were calling David uncle, and she's like, he's not your uncle. And then I guess they're gonna have to figure out what name to call David. But that was really cute. But that is also indicative of the fact that Cody is not in the picture. He has no relationship with those kids either, and he's still letting people down. And he's still blaming everybody else and not understanding that it's his own fault. And these people, if he just reached out to them, most of them would probably want to have some sort of relationship with him. Just crazy, makes no sense. Janelle talks about that the title is not in her name, nor is it in Mary's name. I think the title is, for the Coyote Pass, is in Cody and probably Robin's names. And so they're right now like just hoping and praying that Cody is going to be a decent human being, since they put so much money of their own money into it, and give them their portion. And Janelle, I guess there's like 14 acres total. Some of it has woods and some of it doesn't. So Janelle's like, I just want this 4 acres, and then just let me go and I'm done. And so then there's 14 acres. She wants 4 acres. Cody was talking about splitting 6 acres between him and Mary. So Robin must have the last of the acres. I just thought of that. So the other 4 acres is Robin's. But Robin and Cody are legally married. I know Robin had said before, like a year or two ago, that she didn't want to just have what Cody has, like their names to be on everything. But the situation has changed. So it should be split by whoever paid for it, I think. And I don't know how much Robin really put into it, or if it was Robin and Cody jointly putting into it. So whatever Robin and Cody put in jointly, they should get that portion, or that percentage of the land back. And then whatever Mary put in and whatever Janelle put in, they should get their percentage of how much they paid into it back in acreage. So I just thought of that, but that's Cody wanting to take the biggest chunk and kind of pull a fast one on everybody. Mary goes to London in the UK. She goes to see Stonehenge. She's so excited, and I thought it was really cool because that's one of the things that I really would like to do too, is to go see the Stonehenge. It's kind of a bucket list thing for me, but I went and saw American Stonehenge in New Hampshire, and that was pretty cool. I like doing that little, I did a little trip to go see that and walk through it. It was pretty fun. But I want to see the ones in Europe, and the big Stonehenge, and then also I think it's up in Skye or somewhere like that. I think it's the Cavendish Standing Stones. I would like to see that too, but someday. It's a dream, we'll see. But she talks about how it's been a dream she's had for years, and she was like crying almost in tears. So I thought that was really amazing that she got to do that for herself. And she's by herself and she has nobody to answer to and nobody to tell her that, no, I don't want to go see that. I'd rather go do something else. She got to do her bucket list item, so that's really cool. Then it goes back to Savannah's graduation party, and they Christine talks about like she had this dance that she wanted to do, and then the kids were like, no, I don't want to do that, we want to do this other dance. So they did some other dance, and Christine was like, it didn't kind of go well, but it's fine, but that's pretty funny. Cody, he's talking about not getting invited to the party again. He's like, they're in collusion that seems to hate Robin, and I don't know why. I think they're just jealous. And I'm like, I don't think that's the case, Cody. I mean, maybe they are jealous. I mean, Christine has talked about, like, before she found David, how she was jealous of Robin and his relationship. And Janelle's like, I really don't care about the relationship. Janelle was more about, like, when there's a problem between the two of us and we need to work it out, you're always siding with Robin, and you're not, like, being the mediator. So if you have two wives and you're trying to, treat them both fairly, then you should be the mediator in the middle, trying to, like, make peace and make sure that everybody has their needs addressed and that everything is respectful and equal, and try to keep everything calm. Cody obviously has never been good at that. Janelle clarifies, because I guess, they're on the couch and Cody says these things, but Janelle clarifies that it is basically Cody that they don't want there. It's because the relationship between him and his kids are not good, and they don't want Cody there to upset the kids that are present at her graduation party. So probably half of them would leave if he showed up. So Robin talked about how sad it was that she wasn't there, and it was so nice when they had the previous graduation parties and stuff together. And I think if Robin had maintained a relationship with the majority of the kids, or at least with Savannah may have invited her and not Cody, and then she could have gone, and then she would have to find some other excuse for why she didn't go, because I think she will do whatever Cody says. Cody talks about it sucks. He says that they would let him back in to share in the experiences and stuff with the rest of the family if Robin wasn't invited, or if he would leave her behind, but he couldn't do that to Robin. I don't think they would do that. I think it is Cody's fault that he has a poor relationship. Again, I know, broken record. Cody's fault. He actually is blaming Robin. So if he stopped to think about it, if Robin stopped to think about it, he is blaming Robin for his poor relationship between him and his children. So if Robin would wisen up and see and hear the things that he says, and that it's her fault he can't go see the kids, then I think they would need to hash that out, and I don't think it would be a pretty picture. And I think Robin would realize that this whole collapse of the family is Cody's fault, but she is the tool, or she is the reason that it all fell apart. Anyway, Mary goes over to Cody and Robin's house to give a check to them to pay off Coyote Pass. So this is the last payment. Once everybody's got their money, Janelle wired hers. Mary's bringing a check. I guess Cody's got his portion, so they're all going to pay it off. And then they're so excited about it. And Mary tells Cody and Robin about London and how she got to see the Stonehenge and how excited she was. And Robin's like, oh yeah, that's really cool. And then I said Rhodey, so I'm combining Robin and Cody's name. Might as well, right? Robin and Cody says, Stonehenge, there's got to be something better to see than that. And basically, he said, there's got to be other places that were cool. And she just looks at him like, you don't remember all those years that I was like, I wish I could see this? And apparently he never cared. He never cared enough to remember. He didn't remember. He's like crickets that this was a thing that was so important to her, and he had no idea. So he either didn't listen, didn't care, and forgot, whatever. But Mary talked about how they were together for so long, and that was a dream of hers for 25 years. And in that moment, when he said that, she realized that Cody did not care. So I wonder how many other conversations they could have had where she could have mentioned it and realized, hey, he doesn't care because he's forgotten. But it's crazy. Christine and Janelle interject that basically Cody only did what Cody wanted to do. Like if they went to trips and stuff, if they were interested in going somewhere or doing something, it was pretty much a no. It had to be something that Cody wanted to do, or it wouldn't happen. And then if Cody wanted to do it, then it was like done. But Cody had to want to do it. Cody had blamed not remembering about the Stonehenge on it just being a guy. I'm just a guy, you know, selective hearing, that kind of thing. But I have heard in some of the other YouTube sites that some of the guys that watch it are like, it's not being a guy thing, it's being a good husband thing. And apparently you weren't, because you didn't know that, and that was something that was so important to her. Mary asked about dividing Coyote Pass and getting it appraised. Janelle was fine with just getting 4 acres. She's like, just give me 4 acres and let me go. But Mary talks about getting appraised, and Cody talks about getting the developer and splitting the proceeds. And then Robin mentions that she doesn't want to sell and she still wants to build there. So Cody, it's kind of funny. It was almost like a swatted puppy that he said that, like, he was so excited that he was going to sell it, a developer was going to develop it, and then it'd be out of his hands and he could go do something else, is what it seemed like. And then Robin's like, I still want to build up there. And he's like, okay, I guess that's what we're going to do. So I think in his mind, he's like, if I want to hold on to this wife, I better do what she says. So that, I guess Robin may have a little control over Cody then, in that case. Mary tells Cody and Robin that Janelle came to her and said, just make sure that you protect yourself. And they were all like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And Mary acknowledges that when Janelle came to her, she was concerned and being trying to be a reasonable person, letting Mary know that she was worried that maybe Cody and Robin wouldn't be fair about things. Cody says, Janelle would screw me over if she could, but to be honest with you, I thought about screwing her, but Robin won't let me, basically. Crazy. I mean, we knew it, right? We knew that was how he is, and we knew that he would 100% screw all of them over, except maybe Robin, if he could, just to have the money, the finance, you know, the property, the money, get something out of it, and he doesn't care about anybody else. Cody says we have to have somebody, Janelle thought Cody didn't want to have the land appraised so he can, like, basically pull a fast one on them, which, according to that statement, him thinking about screwing over Janelle, she's probably 100% right. Cody says to Mary, we have to have someone who is a land appraiser, and Mary's like, well, I'm sure they have somebody in Flagstaff that can do that is a land appraiser, like, duh. And like, this was this big hurdle that you could not overcome, and Mary's like, they have them, it's fine, we should pay for them and do it. I think he's just trying to squirrel out of giving them their fair share still. Robin was okay with the appraisal and asked Cody what the problem was. She's like, I don't understand what the problem is. We need to be fair, and we need to know what it's worth in order to be fair. So I hope maybe Robin can hold him responsible and accountable for giving Janelle and Mary their portions that are rightfully, and not legally maybe, but rightfully, and if that's what they paid into it, that's what they should get, right? let's see, sorry. Robin said she was upset because everybody's wanting to sell and not build near her, and she's like, we won't get that cul-de-sac experience that we once had, and that made her sad. Which she's been pretty consistent on that. Like, she wanted the sister wives. I don't think she quite knew how to do it correctly, but she seemed to want it, and she seems to still follow that faith. But Cody's like really pressuring her to not, and just be monogamous and just be Christian type faith, and be done with it. So make whatever's easiest. Cody's still, he's flip-flop because he was talking about finding a developer to sell it to and being done with it, and then he's like, no, we still want to build there. Maybe Robin telling him that's the case, maybe he changed his mind to make her happy. So then Cody they were in the McMansion, what we call their house that they were living in, that they had to buy instead of building on Coyote Pass apparently. And he said, this house, I have bad memories here because everything fell apart while I was living here. Not the family that I lived with, because it was Robin and the kids, and they were all having a good relationship, he says, but because he had 3 divorces, COVID happened, all these things happened while he was living there. So he wanted to sell it and build on Coyote Pass. But then now we know that they bought this huge house with like extra living quarters for a lot more money. So they sold Coyote Pass and they're buying this other place. As long as this this lawsuit against him from Christine doesn't go through, or if it does go through, I don't know what's going to happen with all that, but I guess we'll find out. Cody, it goes to Cody getting ready to go on a man trip with his brother Scott, who I believe is Ben's dad, and Ben is a comedian on TikTok. He's got, I think, a couple YouTube videos he's done with other people. And then his brother, Cody's brother Michael, and they go to Las Vegas for a trip. And they make a joke like, what's taking him so long? He's probably messing with his hair, and it seems like it's 100% true, because when he comes in, he's like taking off this hair net. He's like, I have to dry it in the hair net or the curls don't come out right. He's doing all this extra work. And here you got Michael and Scott both, who have their head like pretty much almost shaved or clipped really close, but like their whole head is like pretty bald. They still look like, they haven't lost their looks or anything. It's just they don't have hair. They kind of gave it up, and it's a lot easier to take care of, I'm sure. Take less time, but here comes Cody with, the 4 in the front that he's got left, and then you can see a lot of bald through there when he bends over. So if you see that, it's pretty shiny, so he's just holding on to those last few hair follicles, but they kind of laugh at him a little bit, I think, and like, can't believe that he's so absorbed in his hair. But they talk about how when he was a teenager, he was the same way. His hair had to be perfect, and I know a lot of us probably were the same way. I know I was that way. Everything had to be in place, and the style that was back in that time, that kind of thing. So then they go to then they go to the cul-de-sac where they lived. The Browns lived in Las Vegas, and he talks about how that was the place that he did polygamy best. And he said there's other things that Christine and Janelle and Mary have said that didn't go right, but he said that is the place where everything seemed to work the best. And I would say that is the place that was most convenient for Cody to get around to his wives and his children, to see them. So when he was able to have a better relationship with his kids due to the proximity, and I think that's probably what he remembers, because that's about the time that Christine said things were really starting to go bad. She said it started in Utah, when they were still in Utah, and that was probably about the time Robin came into the picture, and then they just kept getting worse and worse at Coyote Pass. I'm sorry, and the cul-de-sac in Las Vegas. And then I remember Robin being like, that's not true, Christine. You guys had a good relationship in Las Vegas, but then now you hear Cody saying, I had to hide the love I had for my favorite, he didn't say favorite wife, but his wife Robin from the other wives, so they didn't get mad at him. But I don't think he did a very good job. And I think Christine nailed it right quick. And Mary, he just ignored. And then Janelle was doing her own thing and didn't really care. So, very sad place if you think about it that way. But he got nostalgic and he about cried a little bit. Then his brothers Scott and Michael ask about, are you going to reconcile with Janelle? And he talks about Janelle saying that she's not really interested. She likes to do her own thing and not have to worry about Cody. And then she said, or Cody said, it's easy to just be with Robin. And then he was talking about how great it was, their relationship, how intimate and close they were, all this stuff. And then you have, kind of funny, because Scott, the older brother who's Ben's dad, is still living polygamy. And I wonder what his thoughts were about that. If he was like Cody or a failure, or if he was like, well, yeah, I mean, maybe it would be easier to have just one wife. But he probably isn't wanting to let go of his wives. So it'd be interesting to see what his thoughts were. I don't know if we'll ever hear it, but I wonder if Ben would ever ask him and see what he thought, but who knows. Janelle and Christine, it goes back to them. Oh, Cody talks about Janelle and Christine trash talking him. And then they're like, they've got to stop blaming Robin. And they don't blame Robin. They blame Cody. They blame Cody for letting the relationships fall through, and the relationship with the kids, and not upholding his promises, and lying to them, and all these things that he has done to them. It is Cody. It is not even Robin. It's not Robin's responsibility to nurture and keep his other marriages going. It was his responsibility. He failed at it. It is on him. And then he talks again about like how happy he is to hear from Mary or see Mary as a divorced couple and as friends, and it's just bizarre. He talks about how monogamy feels right for him, and maybe this is how it was supposed to be the whole time. And he said to Scott and Michael that he would never marry again, because they asked him, are you thinking about taking another wife? And he's like, absolutely not. And then he talks about how that make him sick to his stomach, or made him like, no thank you anyway. But and then he talks about all the pain that the divorces had put him and Robin through, and Robin put Robin through. I'm like, what? Anyway, so that is the episode, and that is so frustrating to every week hear how Cody blames his wives and doesn't take responsibility, doesn't reach out to his kids, should do all of those things and move on with his life. But if he did that, we may not have sister wives. So we'll see how it goes. You guys have a good week, and hopefully we can get a next one in sooner than later next week. Bye.